The scripture of the year in this year of dominion is Isaiah 22:22. The key of the house of David I will lay upon his shoulder. So he shall open and no one shall shut, and he shall shut and no one shall open. Let's not forget that this is our anchor scripture, because this truly is a year of dominion. I know for many, they have seen a real stretch. Others may say they have seen real dust, But when you're looking at dominion, dominion is having total control, total power, total authority over all things seen and unseen. It calls for a stretch into that whole new dimension. It means that you have to be able to push through so that you can burst through into that space, okay? So when we're looking at bursting into the new, the Lord has laid in my spirit today to talk about bursting into the new. And, the word bursting means to break open, to break apart suddenly, violently, uncontrollably. That means it just bursts forth, When you look at the scripture that, has been mentioned tonight, Isaiah 43:18 and 19, do not look at the former things. Behold, now I do a new thing. Now shall you not perceive it? Shall you not see it? It springs forth, it bursts forth, okay? So I want you to be in the frame of mind where you're catching the flow of God in the spirit. Many things happen at the same time to lay the foundation of what God is going to do. God is not man that he should lie. He says what he means, and he means what he says. When he says that this is our year of dominion, it doesn't matter what it looks like. It means that ultimately, and remember, God is not contained in calendar years and dates. It means we're in a season where progressively for each person, you'll be sat upon your position and seat of dominion. Today is the 10th day, all right? Sorry, it's the 19th day, which 1 plus 9 is 10, right? And 10 represents fullness, completeness, order, right? The month of November 11 is a month of alignment, reflecting, mirroring, the agenda, the blueprints, the pattern of God on the earth as it is in heaven. But today, the emphasis that God lays in my heart is an emphasis of being whole, yeah? Today, God is releasing wholeness. 1 is the number of wholeness, okay? And 1 in this month, right? There is that wholeness in God. We're first whole in God before we are whole in every dimension of our life. Okay? So there's an emphasis on wholeness today. Wholeness, being whole in this year of dominion, right? When we are whole in him, we can then be able to be whole in every area of our lives, every dimension. Okay? So bursting into the new. Bursting into the new. I don't know how many of you are really happy, expectant to burst, to spring forth, to burst into the new, right? Because that implies, okay, when you look at breaking open, breaking apart in its definition, uncontrollably, suddenly, it also is mostly significant of a sign or a result of impact or intense pressure, okay? Pressure causes things to burst. Okay, pressure, internal pressure causes things to spring, to open up, to break apart in the physical and also in the spiritual. So I know that very many people, very many children of God, very many Christians, very many people have been going through a season where they're just defining it as a season of intense pressure. And there may be pressure in one area of your life where there is no pressure in another area of your life. For some people, it's pressure across several dimensions of their life. Whichever the case, in totality, the Lord is about to burst us into the new. Now, bursting into the new would also imply, I want just to lay a foundation. It would imply, or it would denote a sense of an expectation of new, obviously, and obviously a reality of the old or of a previous state, that was lower or that has outlived its time. Okay? A previous occupancy, ending and a new occupancy coming. So there is an expectation of new. I want you to keep that in your mind as we go along, today's session. Where there has been internal pressure in various dimensions of our lives, it could be in different dimensions. I'm sure a lot of us who are busting through into a whole new dimension holistically, it means that you're likely to have been getting pressure spiritually, pressure financially, pressure emotionally, relationally, intellectually, physically, creatively, strategically, in all dimensions. But because we are all not the same, and where God is taking us is not all alike, it's unique to each person based on their context, their calling, and their race of life. There's some who are having a totality of pressure, and that means the totality of your life is about to experience newness and is about to be burst into a whole new dimension. For others, it could be a specific area where you've been having specific pressure. Okay, maybe it's spiritual warfare, spiritual attacks, spiritual demand, spiritual pulling in, spiritual pressing in, spiritual drawing in, spiritual pressure that is about to burst you into a whole new dimension in the area of your spiritual growth and life. For others, it could be specifically strain and stretch and pressure in the area or expectation of the area of relationship. It could be your marriage, it could be expecting it, it could be just a challenge in that area, pressure, weight, stretch. And God is about to burst you into a new space or a new experience or a new dimension in that space of your relationship. There are others who have been pushed, challenged, pressured intellectually because there's a high demand for you to manifest a greater dimension intellectually. And so there's been a draw, a pressure, a demand, a lot of, pressure in that area. And that is definitely birthing a whole new dispensation of how you manifest and how you show up and how you express yourself intellectually, right? And the list goes on. Financially, it could be that you're so stretched financially, you're so beaten up, the demand is so high, you wonder, how is it going to manage? But that pressure is serving to unlock and to open up a whole new dimension in your financial space, how you think, the ideas, new avenues, new channels of doing business, new sources, new ways, just a whole new way. Okay? So I want you to have an open mind and to listen to this session in relation to what's been going on in your life and what expectations you have of new, right? For some of us, it's not even a choice. God himself is working out things in your life. And without your desire, expectation, or request, you're going to be molded and burst into a whole new space because of who you are and because of your calling. Nevertheless, just be open-minded as we move along this session so that you can be able to grasp what it is that the Lord is doing today. Now, you see, when you're bursting into the new, sometimes people are expectant of it, sometimes people love it, sometimes people are waiting for it, sometimes people are praying for it, sometimes people don't want it. Sometimes people are just comfortable with where they're at, with where they've reached, with how life is. And to be honest, there are people, if you meet them genuinely from the bottom of their heart, life is beautiful at that level. They don't want it rocked, they don't want it shifted, they don't want it changed. But sometimes, even when you're in that state, and God knows there is more that he desires for you or expects of you or wants of you that you have no even idea of. He might rock your boat and begin to do things that push you into that next dimension. Okay? So we must be ready to embrace and engage with the intensity that this season that we are in or that we're just coming out of has been, intensity and high pressure to be able to push us into, bust us into that whole new space and dimension.